No, I don't think so.
Who's nicer than you?
Tal, Fly.
Really?
Yeah.
I could believe that. He seems like a really nice guy.
Yeah.
Who's the meanest
Yes.
guy on your team?
That's our coach. Have you
Yeah?
seen his tweets? He's so mean, man.
I think
You
he's
see
just
how
salty.
angry he is?
He's
Yeah.
just salty.
Yeah.
Super salty. All right, that makes sense. So he cracks the whip from time to time, get you guys back in shape. Not practicing hard enough.
Yeah.
Zai actually said in one of like the Steel Series interview videos they posted, he said the actual truth about S4 is that, I quote, "Truth is, he's an asshole. People are afraid to say anything bad against him." Do you have any response to an accusation like that?
I think he's being a bit sarcastic. Like Sai usually is.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I felt like it was a pretty serious interview, man. He's really firing some shots.
Yeah.
Nah, you used to play with Zai. You guys are buddies, so I'm sure it was all.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was
I'm
all just for
good.
fun.
Yeah, I'm good friends with all of them in EG.
Yeah, seems like you're pretty good friends with a lot of people. I almost think of you as like somebody. You know, I never got to play with you myself. Although, like, I'm sure. I mean, I would have loved to play with you. I think we offered. When did we ask you to play for our team? Was that?
Did you?
Did we? I thought after TI4 we approached the subject or something.
Ah. Yeah, you might have actually. Yeah.
And you were like, no. Oh no. It was after.
TI4, I think. Because after that, that was.
Maybe it was after TI5. And
Oh,
because I think it was after TI5 because we were getting rid of Aoi and we wanted to bring somebody new in. And I don't think we were totally sold on our tour, but you were pretty set on going back to Alliance.
Yeah, it just kind of happened.
Yeah. Can you tell me what was going on in your head in that moment? Why you turned me down? Why you went with Alliance instead?
I mean, it just kind of happened. Like, I also missed some of the guys in the team, like, because I spent some time with them at the event. You know, are you there still? Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. So like, I missed some of the guys in Alliance, and I just it felt good to go back. I didn't. It was kind of in the moment thing. Like, I didn't think it through fully.
Definitely. What did you learn from the experience? Going back and playing with them.
What I learned is, what did I learn?
Surely you learned something.
Yeah, I mean, I learned some new stuff about myself, mostly, like how I like. So I was captain in secret at TF5, and I kept that role going into Alliance, and I tried to bring in some of the stuff I learned in secret into Alliance again, and to see if it works.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And did it, or you just felt like they were just two totally different teams?
To be honest, there was a lot of hard work in the beginning, like, because some of the stuff I wanted to do in the games, people didn't know how to like implement it, like, and stuff.
Yeah, they didn't understand it, right?
Yeah, they didn't understand it, so it took some time. But for me, it was just back into playing it with my friends, like being comfortable in a team. Yeah.
It's interesting how Dota teams are all like incredibly good in their own ways, and they learn about the game in a similar yet different way. And when you go from one team to another team, the way they think about the game might be totally different than the way your previous team thought about the game. But there's still kind of that familiar Dota knowledge where you can try to explain it and they can like kind of understand, but they almost have to like rework their brain to get onto the same page as you. Yeah. And that can be really tough. That's why I think people underestimate why it's important for Dota teams to stick together, or at least like kind of have like a core of guys who really direct like the thought process and the strategy of the team. And
yeah, because in games it's like a matter of seconds. You have to make decisions, and if you start thinking about one thing too much, you're gonna forget about basic stuff, like look at minimap. So you need to have it practiced going into games and stuff.
The more stuff you have practiced, the more stuff you have memorized. You know, you can just do it instantly without even communicating about it.
For example, if you play a new hero or you're doing a new item build on a hero and you have this new hotkey you need to click, you haven't practiced it before, then you're gonna have to keep thinking about this hotkey when you play instead of like looking at actual heroes in the team fight, you know, stuff like that. You need at least like 5 games to practice this new hotkey.
Yeah. No, that's really interesting. There's been a couple teams that have stuck together, but we've had a decent amount of roster changes, but way less this year than other years, I would say. I mean, you guys have been together all year. Obviously, you guys have a ton of success. EG's been around all year. Virtus Pro's been around all year. A couple Chinese teams have stuck together. I think Newbie hasn't really changed roster at all. It's
I think it's an effect of, you know, this superstar teams, you know, like Team Secret and stuff that has been going like in the end it didn't go so well, you know, and people kind of looked at it and like maybe you just need synergy and stuff, you know, not just, you know, superstars, 5 good players. I mean, I don't really agree with that, but because I think you can have both.
I think you can have both too. It's just got to be done in a really good way.
You
got to be careful. Yeah. So I was kind of getting to the point where I was saying like you're almost like this Dota player where I think like almost any team, like provided you guys spoke the same language, like I feel like you could almost choose any team you wanted to go to and people would take you. Do you feel that way? I feel like you probably have a lot of offers, or you would have a lot of offers if you decided you were a free agent.
I don't know actually, because I didn't really, when I left teams, I didn't really like announce it, so I didn't get any offers, you know. But I think now when I play offlane, it might be more attractive to other teams because there are so many mid players, like good mid players right now.
Definitely,
and it would be hard to get into a mid position right now.
Yeah, all of like the rising young talent, they grow up wanting to be, you know, the next greatest mid player, the next greatest carry. No one, not a lot of people really aspire to be the offlaner or the support. You know, they want to be the star.
I'm just that guy trying to be universe, you know.
Yeah, exactly. No, we all aspire to be universe one day. We just, you know, it's just not realistic. I guess that kind of, we're talking about like teams sticking together, and obviously you guys have a great thing going over at OG. What do you look for in teammates? Like, what do you think is really important? You know, you've had experience on teams that have done really well and stuck together, like this year, and then you've had experience on teams, you know, with a lot of friends, like Alliance, and then Team Secret, where it's, you know, friends, but like things didn't really work out. Is there any like key aspects you think are really important?
Yeah, it's just like people. I want to play with people who can learn from their mistakes and like actually don't be so negative in the games. Like if something bad happens, just like, you know, get over it and look for the next things and stuff. You don't want these players who get frustrated and make bad comments, you know. That's stuff you have to learn to remove from yourself.
Yeah, I've had a decent amount of experience kind of with other games now that I've, you know, moved on to like a more general role at EG. And a lot of the other games just they don't have like that mature mentality that you just spoke about. You know, really being forward thinking and positive and, you know, oh, this really awful thing happened. Let's forget about it. Maybe talk about it after the game. But for now, let's try and win this game.
Yeah, there's way too much focus on one guy being negative. So all the focus is going to be on him for like 10 seconds. And then you're going to miss something in the game.
Yeah.
10 seconds can mean one guy dead on the map, you know.
Yeah,
and that's not good for the game.
It's super helpful. It's, you know, you would almost like not even want the star player if he wasn't able to think that way. You know, it's especially in Dota, man. It's about, you know, being a team and working together and really figuring it out. Sure, there's a couple stars here and there, but you know, it's teams winning tournaments, not players. Especially even more so nowadays.
Yeah.
What do you think is something that like you bring to the table as like a teammate? You know, we kind of talked about how like everybody really likes you, and you talk about the idea of being forward thinking and positive and optimistic. Is that something that you think you brought to the team and people followed up, or You know,
Yeah.
how do you define yourself as a teammate?
I think, yeah, for the most part, I'm positive in the games. I wouldn't go and start whining about something. I would always try to look forward in the games and plan the next step. And I think that's one of my strengths is just looking how to team fight or plan the team fight and stuff before it happens. I'd say that mostly, and
Yeah.
initiation and stuff.
Yeah. That's initiating. That's kind of your like Dota specialty, right? Like
Mhm.
being an initiator.
Yeah, I am more comfortable playing
Yeah.
that. So.
And it makes total sense for you now to be playing in the 3 position in the off lane, as like
Mhm.
the 3 and 4 are almost always like the main initiators. There's a couple of exceptions, like if you're playing Darkseer or something,
Mhm.
like you're maybe not always initiating, or Enigma, for example.
Yeah.
What was it like to kind of accept the idea that maybe you weren't set to be a mid player anymore? You know, you have like Sumail, Miracle, Anna, who come up and they're incredibly polarizing, and they almost force a veteran like yourself to play out of your element, to adapt to them.
Well, to be honest, I wanted to find some big motivation in Dota again, and I've been playing for quite a while now, like since TI2. I've been playing Dota, and I've always been playing mid pretty much, and I want something new, and the mid lane just went away from these, initiate heroes, so I mean offlane is just the way to go for me.
Yeah. So you talked about being demotivated. Was that was after your second trip with Alliance? Did you ever think about not playing, or is that just kind of not really a thing for you?
I thought about like